first started here at CVCC, I was homeless.
I wasn't sure what I wanted to do.
I was incarcerated for 13 years. I've been out for 5 years.
I worked 3 jobs, busting tail to try to make money, and I could still barely make ends meet.
I heard about Challenger because the opportunity of education we
I
had.
had nothing to do with my time, so I decided to go back to school.
I wanted to accelerate. I wanted to get ahead of everyone else.
To me, CVCC is fundamentally different than its competitive community colleges.
And I promised myself when my youngest son started kindergarten that I would go back to school. So here I am.
Everyone here at CVCC wants you to succeed. You know, they want you to go on to the 4-year college or, you know, do something great with your life.
From all of the problems that I had while trying to get at CVCC, I was welcomed. Nobody down-talked me or looked at me any differently. They all encouraged me that I was on the right path and that any type of way that they could help me, they was willing to help me. And not just talk, but they showed me that. And that's why I would recommend CVCC.
I picked CVCC because it was close to home, it was where my friends had went, it's what I knew about, and they offered the programs that I needed.
At first, I didn't thought that I would make it to Challenger because I thought I was not smart enough or I didn't believe in myself. But then when they accept me, then I thought it probably might work. That's why I had a chance to come to Challenger.
We have a pretty diverse campus here, I believe, and the person you're sitting next to may not be from this town, this state, or this country, and it's been a little bit different from growing up in Taylorsville. I've gotten to meet some people who I may not have anything in common with, but I've managed to become friends with them, and sometimes, you know, I hope that those friendships are going to be lasting. They seem to be, and you know, it's something I've really learned to appreciate here is the friendships that I've made with someone that I wouldn't have had it not been for here. All
of my classes I've been the only African American in there.
That's interesting.
And I'm the type of person that my background, I'm not ashamed of it. And when they ask me, I tell them. And when I tell them, it's kind of like they kind of look at me all, you know. But Mr. Hunt and them told me, I'm working with that now. He told me that look at that as positive because in the end, before the semester's over, they're going to want to talk to me. And he's right, they have.
The reason I ended up at CVCC instead of a college closer to my home is the New Choices program, which is for displaced homemakers, run by Renee Neal. That's how I ended up here. To my knowledge, there is not another community college around here that has that program. And through that program, I was introduced to the peer mentoring program that she also runs. And that has been like a godsend to me because I've been out of college for 12 years. You know, it's a whole new ball game than when I was in community college before. So if I didn't have that, I would have been lost because this has been my first semester back.
It was a pretty good experience having a high school and college class. For me, it was a good way to learn, to approach when going to like a 4-year college, then you're already prepared and you know what to do already. So that's my experience.
To me, CVCC is fundamentally different than its competitive community colleges. And there's 2 reasons for that. One being the administration here, not because they really have this superior way that they operate or anything, but because they actually care about the students here. And when there's a problem, they actually admit to it and admit fault and take accountability for it.
I'm glad I chose CVCC instead of going, oh, hey, this other community college is closer to my house, let's go there. I think I would have missed out on a lot of stuff had I not chosen CVCC.
The second thing to me that attracted me about CVCC is the amount of extracurricular opportunities that exist here. And I'm pursuing a career in audio production. And this is a career that's kind of hard to find project opportunities for in this area, especially within community colleges. And since attending CVCC, I've worked on 3 different documentaries. I've ran sound for 2 plays, and currently am working on an instructional online video course. And I think that's going to span out to 40 or so videos. Also, whenever teachers have projects going on, they will oftentimes come to me and seek my help as one professional to another almost. And I mean, it's really nice to be talked to and treated as someone's equal rather than they're your superior or some authoritarian character.
CVCC has some awesome instructors and some awesome resources that I don't think I could get at any other community college in the area. The LAC with Becky Franklin has been awesome. The peer mentoring program that I started out in with Renee Neal has really made my skills evolve to be the honor student that I am today. The biology department, the chemistry department, the instructors, the department heads, they care. They take the time to sit down with me and say, this is where you want to go in life. Let me give you some advice from someone that's been there. So really it's just the caring that the instructors give.
The team of instructors here are just phenomenal. I've been to 3 colleges starting out to college, and I have never had a team of instructors like I have here.
Gary Muller, Christy Land, Jeff Penley, they're definitely some of my favorites. Tanya Stevens. They all have so much to offer. Those people right there in the business sector have such a passion for the students and for what they're doing, outside of school. They'll just talk about how they want someone else, to do better and to achieve great things.
My favorite teacher of all time is Mr. Fred Bryson. I took a sociology class with him. He made me reevaluate everything that I stand for. I really took a step back and looked at things from that behavioral science perspective, and it really made me put my life into context as well as understand others and what's really going on in the world. So he really is the one that's changed me the most.
As far as math, Jerry Sachs was good. He knew my learning style. Math wasn't one of my strong subjects. English, Mr. Robert Knight, he was real great.
Someone else who I think's really been beneficial is Kevin Keck. He's really organized a lot of things here at CVCC, and he's trying to organize a film festival for the spring semester. And Kevin Keck directly sought me out to help him work on organizing this thing.
When you go over to the bio side, I mean, you have wonderful professors like Betty Peterson and Emily Whiteley, Kimberly Browning, and Alvin Moore. They're all wonderful. I've learned so much from them. I also had Kevin Ross for English. He had to teach an English class one time, and it's a true statement when they call him the Dark Lord of Grammar. It is, I mean, seriously. But I learned a lot about grammar and everything, which now I probably torture my children with.
The LAC has been fabulous. Actually, one of the math teachers down in the LAC, if I didn't get something in my math class, I would run downstairs, and she was almost always there. Her name's Anna Russell. And I would be like, please explain this to me. And she would explain it. So when it came time for me to register, I made absolutely sure that I was in her math class, because I knew I could understand her, and I could, she could teach me.
As far as education, the instructors that have made me want to pursue my education even more than when I started, Dr. Davis from the biology department has been awesome. He's really gave me that passion for biology. Mr. Eller in history, always hated history, never did good at it in high school. And for an instructor to make it fun, I wanted to come to class. Never missed a day because I liked being in class. Miss Marhowe in the math department, I hate math. Can't stand it. I still hate it. I can't stand it. But she's made it fun. She's made it okay. I can learn because she takes the time to explain it as many times as we need until we get it.
Amy Bechtel. She was my first psychology instructor, and I learned more from her than I have anybody. It's funny because sometimes I have a hard time remembering what happened last week, but I can still remember key points that Amy would teach us in class.
I've never encountered an instructor who didn't care about me. Even if it's just in the realm of their class, they care that I succeed with them. I've had instructors step up and help me along the way who have done more than, most people in my family would have thought to do for me. There are people, instructors and faculty combined, that actually really want to help, and if there's anything they can, they'll give you the shirt off their back to make sure that you succeed and that you have the tools to succeed.
But when I get discouraged, I go and talk to either Mr. Scott, Mr. Hunt, or Miss Biggs, and they'll give me a little pep talk to let me know that, apparently they've seen what I'm already going through, so they know what to tell me, and it helps as long as I apply it.
You can tell when someone has a calling and when someone is just in it for a job. And I haven't had an instructor who has come across to me as if it weren't their calling.
CVCC has more opportunities for their students. They have teachers who are published authors. It's a nicer campus aesthetically, and I mean, it's just all around better. Why would anybody even have to consider? I mean, I live in Lenore, and I commute here, and I'm pretty cheap. I don't like spending the money on gas, but it's more than worth it to come here.
People aren't aware of the opportunities that are offered at CVCC. We have the screens up. Students seem to just be blind to them. They walk right past them, and they miss out on the things that they are just so unlucky to miss. The classes like the trip classes that I've had, the clubs and organizations that are meeting, the events that are free for students, people just don't know about them. And until somebody walks up and says, hey, did you know you can go to Alabama and learn about African American history? Or hey, did you know that you can take this class and get to go to, the Southwest? People don't know that these things exist. So it's just, if these people would look at the website, look at the screens up on the TV, and just see what's out there for them, it's going to go from taking classes at a school to an education.
Student leadership program, that was one of the best experiences ever. Diane Little, she is amazing. I learned things that helped me not only in school, but at home, in business. Not about being a boss or anything, but about how to pick someone else up and get them where they need to go.
And another thing is volunteering. I never realized how much one person could do in a community. And through just one semester of volunteering, I have over 150 hours. I mean, those are people's lives that I've touched just because I took the steps to come to CVCC and join the clubs that I've joined, and now I'm able to help other people before I'm even through with my education. So I think giving back, dedication, and slowing down and really looking at the world and how all the little parts work and get put together, it's probably the biggest things I've learned here.
And something else I've learned here is how important an education actually is. In this economy, there's no guarantee that the job you have is going to be the job you have in 10 years. But an education can help you get that. My family have all been factory workers, and most of them have lost their jobs when the furniture industry moved out or when the box factory got bought up by, the next company. So it's been something that, at 50 and 60 years old, they've lost their jobs and had to figure out what to do now. But even if the job that I get doesn't succeed, which I hope it does, of course, I still have an education to fall back on. And at that point in my life, I'm not going to have to try to get an education in something and then look for a new career. So it's something that I've always known the value of an education, but once you reach a certain age and you get out into the real world, you realize just how important it is to have a degree, but beyond that, to have the knowledge that comes with the degree.
There is nothing that you can't do at CVCC. There are instructors that care. There are not just instructors, but extra faculty that are here just to make sure you succeed. There are workshops to give you the skills to learn how to become a student again, how to get those test-taking skills, the organizational skills. There are other students through the peer tutoring program, the mentoring program, other students that want to see you succeed. There is always someone at CVCC in your corner saying, you can do this. They're always there.